Brock Purdy just got paid. Let's dig into that. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. The NFL draft a few weeks away. We're going to be covering all the best topics and storylines. But as of right now, just want to dig into Brock Purdy getting a bonus from the NFL for basically outplaying his draft position and his current contract. So here's the list tweeted out by Brian McCarthy. 25 players listed here, part of the collective bargaining agreement that based on playtime and salary levels, these players earned bonuses outplaying basically what they were supposed to earn. Only quarterback on this list is Brock Purdy at number 24, and he gets a nice little check for $739,000, let's say $740,000. Also on this list for the 49ers, Diamador Lenore gets $790,000 as well. So what does this mean for Brock? He's obviously been severely underpaid, and the 49ers have benefited from that, where we have star player after star player, and it's getting close to Brock Purdy contract time. You don't want to end up in a situation like Cowboys with Dak Prescott, where you just keep putting off paying your guy. I don't think that's where we're going to end up, because the comments from Jed York recently stating that they are comfortable paying a quarterback and they know the market. They paid Jimmy not too long ago, and that was the highest paid quarterback deal on paper for a few minutes until Kirk Cousins signed his deal. But, Jerry likes to say his hand don't cramp writing checks, but he's afraid to pay Dak, and it seems like the 49ers are not afraid to pay quarterbacks, especially in a moment where this team is built to win now, and it seems like they found their guy. Jed also just saying that he knows the quarterback market is around that $40 million range and above, and that's just the going rate. And he sounds pretty comfortable and confident that they're going to work out a deal with Brock that they feel good about and that Brock feels good about. And that kind of reflects what you're paying a typical franchise quarterback. I don't care that you have all these pundits on ESPN arguing that Brock's not that good, Brock's not a franchise guy. The 49ers believe he's their franchise guy. I think his play shows that he's their franchise guy, and the money eventually will show that he's their franchise guy. So just looking at around the league a little bit, where he could fall on this pay scale, here is the top 10 quarterback contracts average per year. So they got Joe Burrow at $55 million leading the pack, and you go all the way down to at 10, where around $40 million you get Daniel Jones, Matt Stafford, Dak Prescott. And where does Brock Purdy fall in between those? He's going into a third year of his deal, and right after that year he can sign a contract extension. So I'm thinking he's going to want to negotiate pretty early on in this season, if not immediately at the end of this coming season. You would think if I'm Brock Purdy's team, you got to be above Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones might not even be their quarterback next year, and he's making $40 million. Matthew Stafford, obviously aging, but he's still looking pretty solid. We'll see. Dak Prescott making $40 million. They're doing a really, really risky wait-and-see approach. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, we're not even really going to touch on that because they're in their class of their own. They have bonuses, and their teams are built to win the Super Bowl right now. So their money is getting pushed back a little bit to where these contracts are going to be inflated for them in a few years and look more like the Joe Burrow deal, if not getting paid more than that. But then you look at Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray area. Is Brock better than Kirk Cousins? I mean, he was on the field last year. He's healthy. He's going to have a full offseason. He's going to have, as long as we get Brandon Ayuk back, his full weaponry of position skill players. So you would think he'd be better than Kirk. Deshaun Watson definitely played better than Deshaun Watson. Kyler Murray, he came on strong at the end there, but Brock Purdy has had 2 solid seasons now. Well, a season and a half, really. So I would think he falls right behind Jalen Hurts and above that Kyler Murray. I would love to see Brock Purdy hit between like a 35 mil and between 35 and 45 mil a year. But let's be realistic here. If you're looking at these numbers and you're looking at these guys, I think you have to say Brock Purdy's played. He was the fourth person in MVP votes this past season. He's led the team to NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl, and we'll see what he does in his third year. But I think he has a strong case to say, hey, listen, I need more than Kyler Murray. Give me $47 million a year. Don't put me in the 50 mil because that, these are like the elite of the elite that we're getting to now. And I wouldn't put him there just yet. But the going rate for quarterbacks when you have one is about between 40 and $50 million. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets $48 million a year and we try to kind of mitigate that a little bit, give him some bonuses, spread it out. And whether that's all like as much guaranteed as possible, or whether it just sounds like it's going to be around $50 million, but when you dig into the numbers, it really is incentive based. That's going to be worked out in negotiation, but I think he has earned and deserves that $48 million a year, because I think he is above these mid-tier Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins level, and even Daniel Jones. I mean, he's out-battled Dak Prescott, so I think he deserves it. Now, do the 49ers think he deserves it? It sounds like they do think he deserves it, because Jed York going on and saying that, yeah, $40 million is the going rate. I think that's where the negotiation starts. And I think that's why he's been comfortable saying that to the media, that, yeah, around 40 million is the going rate for a franchise guy. So not surprised at all if he goes for even higher than that, and he's earned it. And we'll see him further earn it this coming season. Something else I want to touch on a little bit quickly while we're here, Diamador Lenore getting some love, showing that he's outplayed his current contract. He's a guy that came in and didn't really think he was going to do much for the squad, because we were like, oh, maybe Ambry. We're trying to figure out with some veteran guys, and we had a lot of stop gaps, a lot of inconsistency in that secondary, especially the Josh Norman years, where we have to play Josh Norman a lot of playing time, where he was, probably done, honestly, with his career. And he came in and added a level of stability in that secondary that I think he just keeps growing more and more as a guy that we can lean on. And if he's in the slot, he's solid. He's been solid for us outside the numbers. He is definitely outperformed that contract. And I don't know if he's going to be the guy next year opposite Mooney Ward, or if we're going to try to bring someone else in and keep Demo in the slot. Either way, I think he's been an amazing addition, kind of an unsung hero for this 49ers defense. So feeling good about him, feeling good that he got a little roster bump. And again, this roster bonus thing that they've agreed, it's mostly for the linemen. It's mostly linemen who get this, because you can get a 4th round, 5th round lineman. He comes in, he starts for you all year and outperforms. And that's kind of a normal thing. But for a quarterback to get this, very impressive. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays into the NFL draft coming up, because you're looking at a lot of guys who want to go in the first round, who have first round grades, but it's hit or miss. Everyone's comparing the Drake May, Sam Howell draft and saying, like, look how terrible that draft was. You can get guys in the later round who could be your starting quarterback, and I think Brock Purdy is showing us that, and we'll see who goes late in this upcoming draft. We'll cover that more going forward, but this should be a good sign for any quarterbacks going day 2 in that draft. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be covering NFL. We're going to be covering draft. I'm talking basketball this year. We're talking MLB coming up. The Giants are looking pretty good. So, yep, we'll see you next time. See ya.